All right, I'm good to go. I had my traditional sit-down pee, and I am fresh. I'm feeling good. How about you?
I always sit down to pee.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't want to aim. Also, I don't want to touch my penis.
I don't want to aim. I don't want to touch my penis. I got all this foreskin. It's spraying everywhere. I can't aim.
You got little chunks of semen blocking your pee hole.
Well, no one... Why would you listen to this podcast?
You like conversations about chunky sperm.
I no longer want to listen to this podcast. I hated that.
You should record this with earmuffs on so you can't even hear what's being said.
Yeah.
That way we can't interact with one another back and forth. There's no witty banter.
I'll just do my part.
Yeah. We'll do them separate.
Yeah.
And then we'll hire somebody to edit them together.
And if it matches anything you say, that's just gravy.
It's completely coincidental. Like,
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with one of us working off the other one.
Did I tell you that I would have posted it at the time, but like Chris Frank, shout out friend of the show, Johnny Cockstrong, sent in a promo for one of our shows in maybe the 2014 show, 2015 show, probably 2014 actually, where he didn't tell me he was going to do this. He just sent me his half of an interview with me.
Love it.
And then I had to fill it in.
Interesting. Yeah, that sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, it ended up being pretty fun, and the finished product is good because you can tell that that's what the situation was,
right?
But it's funny as a result of that.
Right.
But
you as the interviewer had to write the questions that matched what he was saying.
Yeah, and get the timing right and all. Like, I had to do so much more work than him. What he did was say dumb shit, wait an arbitrary amount of time, and then say more dumb shit.
Right.
I had to write down timestamps and do all this bullshit.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we'll watch it after. It's fun.
Good.
And you can all watch it too. Where? Great question. I think it's on my YouTube.
Question,
but not positive.
Questionable response. Maybe it's on there, but if not, you'll never see it.
I'll get it up somewhere.
All right.
I'll even maybe post a link in the description or in a comment or something.
Yeah, I like that you have to try and now remember to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to. If we're being honest, look, just go to the YouTube. Go to Blue Thunder Video on YouTube. That's where this is. Maybe you're already there listening to this. There, you should be. But, yeah.
How long have you had your account on YouTube?
Great question. More than 10 years. Less than 20 years? What do you think about that?
Great answer.
How do I find out?
Well, I don't know. You looked at mine.
I did. I found yours
one
so easily. Joined 14 years ago.
Wow.
2007.
2007.
Yeah. And
6, 7.
Didn't use it for... I mean, didn't, like, post stuff on it. Well, I mean, didn't post stuff on it regularly until 2 years ago, I guess. Or I guess, like, well, when did we start fucking posting Worst Year of Our Lives? 2018.
2018.
Yeah, so 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And before that, it was sporadic wrestling and old podcasts.
Scott, what were the first and second Reichs?
Rome.
And?
Holy Rome.
They're both Rome?
I'm going to say yes, but not confident. But I'm going to do a little research and prove myself right.
You might want to
prove myself right.
You might want to use a incognito mode so that you're not being tracked again.
You think
looking up Nazi stuff?
You think looking up Reichs is going to be the worst thing I've Googled today?
No, but make sure that you put a Haydn in front of it, and then no one will question you. Oh, he's just looking up wrestling.
First Reich is the Holy Roman Empire, 800 to 1806. Pretty good Reich, 100 years.
Yep.
By 100, I mean 1,000.
Yeah.
Decimal places are hard.
Sure.
And I don't know. I feel like the First Reich and Second Reich are not on the same level. So First Reich is 1,000 years of Holy Roman Empire. The Second Reich is the German Empire, 1871 to the end of World War I.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
So what you're saying is they go
And then of course, Third Reich, Best Reich.
I was gonna say, as far as quality of Reich, it goes
3-1-2.
3-1-2
In descending order.
Correct.
Yeah.
Definitely all winners.
Have we said we're Scott and Drew?
No, but
Have we said this is mostly Drew? Have we said the Reich thing was Drew's idea?
Well, I have the notes. I have the run sheet, and it says
Do Reich
Scott
stuff.
answers questions about Reich stuff. So
Scott becomes even blonder and bluer-eyed while talking about it.
Scott Henson, Reich expert.
Look,
Reichspert.
you want to be on the Reich side of history.
If you had to choose one team to be on, which team would it be? And why is it the Third Reich?
The Boston Reich Sox.
Oh, man, they need to do that in Man in the High Castle. Do they still make that show?
It finished.
Has anyone watched that show?
Why don't you tell me if I've watched all 4 seasons of that show?
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I watched the first episode, and then as it's TV, I didn't finish it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Like from what I saw,
It's
it was
a fun
interesting.
concept.
It was interesting, but
Who's the guy? Rupert?
Murdoch.
No.
Friend.
No, but I like him too.
Rupert Everett.
It's Rupert Everett, right?
I don't know.
He was in The Father.
Rupert Everett was in The Father?
It's not Rupert Everett. It's
not
the
even
fucking guy.
No, it's
you
not.
You know who I'm talking. Don't
not,
sit there.
It's not even Rupert. It's
not.
You talking him?
No,
because he's in The Father.
No, the fake husband. No, the real husband in The Father.
Oh yeah.
Who's that? Russell Brand.
Randy Jackson.
It's Randy Jackson, is who it is. What's his... God damn it.
Randall Cunningham.
Black quarterback. It's an RU, for sure.
This guy?
No. That's Mark Gatiss of Sherlock and the League of Gentlemen fame. The other husband. Yes. What?
Rufus
Sewell. I knew it was an RU.
Yeah.
God damn it. He's handsome. That's what I wanted to say about him.
Oh, okay. This whole
handsome.
thing was for you to say Rufus Sewell is handsome.
Yes.
All right.
And he's good on the show.
He's Count Adamar.
He has a good character arc on Man in the High Castle.
That he's a Nazi, and that's all you need.
But kind of a chill Nazi.
I mean, that's pretty rad.
And actually, he didn't he's an American,
right?
Who swore allegiance,
sympathizes
to Nazis.
He's a real Rob Conway, but if Rob Conway was a Nazi,
exactly.
Gotcha.
You get it.
Gotcha. I wanted to be more invested in it. I think it was because I didn't have Amazon Prime for a while, but I guess now that I have it again, I can watch it.
I've never had it, but it never stopped me.
Then it's true. I do watch The Boys now, so...
Boys is great.
Boys is great.
Number one hero?
Stormfront. I agree with all of her stances on everything.
Cool politics. And you're only partway through season 2, so...
I think
you'd be surprised...
4 episodes
how
in,
much
maybe?
More you're going to agree with her before season's end.
I mean, I enjoyed when she killed the Asian guy and then said fucking yellow skin or whatever. That was pretty tight.
That was something.
I am definitely... I finished the 4th episode.
Okay.
So, I got 4 more to go.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, I thought there were more than 8.
Nope.
But I thought it was like a 13 season,
8.
But it's not. They're both 8, right?
Yes.
Both seasons, yeah. It's a fun show. Watch it if you haven't.
It is a very fun show. I enjoy...
Hey, what if the Avengers were pieces of shit?
Yeah, what if all superheroes were also rapist murderers?
Yeah.
Who do drugs?
I'm sure lots of comic books have taken that angle before.
Yeah.
But comics are for nerds and TV's for cool guys. So
correct.
And this is the first TV for cool guys that has done it.
Yeah, pretty much. I like that it's. Spoiler alert, I guess, is it unexpectedly kills characters out of nowhere.
Yeah,
not like Game of Thrones style, but of just like,
yeah.
There's absolutely no reason for, in this situation that we are in currently, for this character to die.
And then blam!
Oh my god, they're dead.
Gruesomely dead, too.
Gruesome, yeah, like really violently.
Yeah.
I just saw the part where the Deep tries to stop them by beaching that whale.
Yeah.
And then they drive the boat into the whale.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That one's really sick. And then the one with the new guy that they want to introduce into the Seven, who's the knockoff Daredevil.
Yep.
And then all he does is like box his ears, and now he's like, great, now you're just another fucking blind guy. That was pretty fucking boss. Yeah, I mean, it's great.
Yeah. Top recommendation.
Top recommendation. It's the only television show I am currently watching.
Yeah.
Only one.
Top 2 recommendations, The Boys and Drew's DVD copy of Triumph of the Will.
Correct. That I stole from the school.
Yeah.
And will never be giving back. And the only person that knew about it also quit the school. So now I have no one that's going to know.
And then you killed that person to be extra safe.
Yeah, I homelandered them.
No one must know.
Never again. Never forget. Except for I forget every time.
9/12?
9/12. Yeah, that's what it is.
Can never remember.
Yeah. Where were we? I feel like we got off the Nazi stuff. We got on television.
Rufus Sewell Handsome.
I don't even know what we're doing anymore. Like with this podcast, like I honestly don't even understand what it is.
Oh, you've lost you've completely lost the thread of it.
I don't even know the
very concept.
Like, what's the hidden meaning behind the show? Like, what's the point of doing this podcast right now?
Well, I think it's to fill time for probably 90 or so minutes, and then give people the next letter and the secret message at the end, which is really the only important part of the podcast.
So whatever,
is to get the secret message.
Whatever
out.
we're talking about is completely irrelevant to anything, and we could just say whatever.
Yeah, unless you're a big in your house 8, beware of dog.
Have you thought about have you given any more thought to what's the worst thing you're willing to say on this podcast?
You gotta stop putting me on the spot here.
You said you would think about it.
I thought about it.
And?
Hard to say.
Oh. It's not like it'd be the worst thing you've said on a podcast or stream in the last 7 days.
White people do this, and black people do that.
Stay tuned to the next episode where Oscars 2011, where I will say one of the worst things that I am willing to say on this podcast because I have opinions.
Okay,
they will come up, but that's for the movies.
You gotta wait
for the wrestling.
Y'all gotta wait 3 days for that.
3 more days.
What do you? Okay, what? Right? Give us a call. Give us a call live on the air. What are you guys gonna do for the 3 days? How are you gonna pass the time between now and when Drew says the worst thing you've ever heard in 3 days? What are you going to do?
Give us a call. What is it?
591 Raw. 591 Roll.
I like that it's 2 numbers. Well, you have to call the first number, and then when it gets picked up on their end, you have to call the second number. Or it's a real, are you more of a rock guy or more of a roll guy?
I think,
and you have to pick one or the other.
I think it's just having two lines open. I'm repping it from Jimmy Pardo because he would do it on Never Not Funny,
right?
And yeah, I assume it's a thing from like some LA radio. I get maybe K-Rock or something in LA.
Sure.
But I just love it. I love inviting people to call us live on a tape show.
Could you
also imagine even taking calls on a live show? Imagine
being a radio host in 2021.
It's an interesting job.
Shout out to Steve Miggs, good guy, friend of the show, maybe, but probably not.
Maybe, but probably not.
He'll never hear it. But shout out to Steve Miggs, good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cody Whistler, also.
No, I don't think so.
He was,
but I think he got let go.
I think he did too.
pandemic too.
So
I think it was like right before the pandemic, they were like changing up the direction they were going, and then they were like, "Oh, by the way,
now
the world's
definitely.
shutting down."
So when it comes to radio personalities, you're of the "if you're not now, you never were" philosophy.
Correct. Yeah. What have you done for me lately?
Fair enough.
It's I'm
sorry. Are you on the radio right now? Then fuck yourself.
Second, no, get the fuck out. Are you a big Jeff O'Neill fan?
Love Jeff O'Neill.
Yeah. Are you a big Bro Jake or
are we just doing local now?
I can't. I don't even know if I can.
Kid Carson.
Oh God, Kid Carson. What were the?
How long does he get to call himself Kid? He's 58 years old.
Are you a big Larry and Willie fan?
Love Larry and Willie. They've got to be dead, right?
No, they split them up.
That's absurd.
One stayed on Rock 101, and one went to QM-FM.
Huh. 103.5.
What a downgrade. You go from playing old fogey music to old woman music. I'm a big. He went from being a big fan of like, the Mississippi Queen
Bob
to
Seger
to Train.
Have we talked about Mississippi Queen on air?
I don't remember.
I don't think we did.
I think it was off air afterwards when we were watching something else.
I think it was a trivia show. Was it Masterminds or something?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or no. I think it was Catch 21.
Okay.
I think the question was this whatever blah blah wrote the song, classic song.
This song by John Denver became the state's official song.
Yes.
Or something.
Or something like that. And
and it was at this point that there was, I believe, a misfire between synapses in the tattered series of pipe cleaners that Drew calls a brain, where he conflated the two songs Rocky Mountain High and Mississippi Queen into one song.
One song.
Rocky Mountain High.
Well, it's as anyone may have noticed on Twitter in the last, I don't know, 3 days, because it was yesterday.
3 days last week.
I was clearing off.
You were active.
Well, I was clearing off my Facebook. Because I would like to get rid of every history I have on Facebook. I just don't actively want anything on there. And if it wasn't for that being my only lines of communication with certain people that don't live here, that I can't just text or Instagram, I would just completely get rid of it.
Same here. Yeah.
So I was going through and just kind of like clearing off everything. And it's not even like I have things on there that I'm like, hey, if I ever decide to run for mayor or something, I'm in big trouble. It was just stuff.
You got my
like,
vote.
I just don't want people to see what I was posting or sharing or whatever, just because I just don't like that shit.
I bet I got some interesting stuff from 10 years ago.
I'm sure I've got lots of interesting stuff from 10 years ago. So I was just going back like as far as I kind of wanted to.
Guys, please don't go back in my Facebook.
Oh, please do.
Oh, you know what? Do it. You can't get me.
It found a pretty good gem, involving Scott's sister.
I forgot about that. That's really funny.
And was very funny.
That's real. I forgot that my sister didn't know that American Vandal was fake.
Wasn't real. To which led me to say maybe she got shaken as a baby and she's only seeing the side effects now.
Yeah.
Which then you said.
Oh, must be adult onset shaken baby syndrome.
But we would have never remembered that gem if I hadn't gone back and cleared out my Facebook. So anyways.
Yes, another high recommendation, American Vandal. Great show.
Season 1, amazing. Season 2 is still pretty
good.
Season 2 good. Not quite as good, but still very
I do still wish they had done more seasons.
I agree.
But now you can see that guy on Home Economics with Topher Grace.
Yes, that's their new big comedy show that they're hyping.
Yes, sir.
I enjoy a Christopher Grace.
Oh.
That's his government name.
Full names.
That's his government name.
I like you went the other way with the show. Yeah, everyone's Chris.
Yeah.
What if I do everything but the Chris?
What if I was Topher with Topherky Grace?
Oh. Remember everything but the girl?
Fucking got him. Yeah, I do.
Miss you?
Miss you.
Yeah. I miss you.
Why? You're sitting in the same room as me.
The second I leave, I'm going to start missing you.
Good. I don't miss you. I never even think about you unless you're here.
You sure about that?
Yep.
Because a certain unnamed girlfriend of yours, last time I was here, told me how excited you were that I was coming that day.
Also, we can't talk about it because she'll hear it and then I'll get in trouble.
Oh, so you're calling her a liar?
I'm calling her a liar.
Okay.
She's clumsy and you can't trust her.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
There's drugs in this apartment. Like, good luck finding them, but there's drugs in this apartment.
But there's drugs.
Yeah. And they're not even my drugs.
Well, no, you're not the Colombian. I would never... If I found a kilogram of cocaine, I would not think, oh, this is Drew's cocaine.
Yeah, all of the movies and all the Blu-rays in here are just a facade. They're just a front.
Wait, if I open these Blu-rays...
Oh, it's just a front. Like, you literally just pull off the front, and it's just all cocaine.
Love it.
Yeah, everything is cocaine. The shelves are made out of cocaine. The Blu-ray copy of Birdman is made out of cocaine.
It was like that meme 6 months ago where everything was cake.
Yes.
Now it's cocaine.
Yeah, now it's cocaine. Yeah. Nope, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Something of importance. Oh, so I was when I was clearing off my Facebook,
yes.
I found a lot of things that I was like, oh, like that was a pretty funny joke.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna copy and paste all of them to Twitter, so that I don't lose them, and then I'll delete
preserved
them,
for
and then
posterity.
I'll delete them off the Facebook, right? Because like I feel like it's easier to get away with saying things on Facebook. Or on Twitter than it is on Facebook. So, like, you know, in several years when somebody creeps my Facebook and then they're like, oh, he said this thing. Whereas, like, Twitter, it's like, yeah, it's fucking Twitter. Like, what do you expect? I'm supposed to say things like that.
There's Nazis
if I'm not racist on Twitter, I get kicked off.
Yeah.
It's part of the...
Yeah, you have to maintain a racism quota
It's part of the verbal contract you sign with Twitter when you sign up. Nobody ever reads those agreement statements.
Guys, read the terms of service.
You are literally... You have to have at least a 15% racism content. It's a real CanCon of racism.
Yeah.
So
15% needs to be racist, 35% needs to be Canadian.
Yeah, and the rest of it needs to be vaguely homosexual.
Yeah, but those two can cross over. You can do racist Canadian stuff.
You can do racist Canadian stuff. Yeah. So yeah, in the midst of me swapping over all those jokes, transitioning as it were, the one that I had really forgotten about was that for the longest time I thought that Mount Sinai was Mount Cyanide.
I like that,
and
a lot.
I was like, why would they name a hospital after
poison?
After poison, so that I hypothesized
it does seem like bad branding.
That there was the Royal Sarin Gas Memorial Hospital.
That's a nice one.
So yeah, but I will openly admit that I thought it was cyanide was the name of the hospital.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's always good to find those things that you like are willing to admit how stupid you sounded.
I also liked your where can I sign up to be a bad guy in the Hunger Games?
Yeah, 100%. I'd be like, I've said that for years, and it was like I would, if in any form of like post-apocalypse or like any kind of
dystopian adult.
Anything, like I am 100% going to be the bad guy.
Absolutely.
And not the bad guy that like is conflicted with his choices of like, maybe I should show a little bit of humanity here.
No,
like
evil, fuck these kids.
Full evil, fuck these kids.
I hope all 100%. These kids die. I hope I'm the last generation, not these kids.
I'm the guy that dies at the end of the series.
Yes.
Like, because I'm so evil, you have to kill me off. Yeah. I am that guy. I'm Donald Sutherland.
And
I'm just as old as Donald Sutherland.
You're Donald Sutherland. I'm someone else in the Hunger Games.
You're Kiefer Sutherland.
No, I'm the
you're the gay one.
No, I'm the... Oh. I don't even know what the gay one is.
I don't know. All of them?
Wasn't there a tiger lady in one of them?
There's a tiger lady in the last one.
I'm her.
Okay. I like that you openly want to be a female tiger. You know that means you're getting barbed penises put in you, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to hurt.
It is. But I feel like it's...
What is it? Fun going in, hell coming out?
Exactly. It's Hellfest? Yeah, which I never think it's that because that's also like a hardcore music festival.
Yeah.
I feel like the barbs are a you get used to it situation.
You can only be ripped and torn so many times before you just stop feeling it.
Shout out to Rip Torn, R.I.P.
R.I.P. What a name.
God damn it, these barb penises are going in me again.
Is his legal government name Rip Torn?
Yes.
That's crazy.
He's the best.
That's... I don't know how he had the coolest, but no, it's not. Elmore Rule Torn Jr.
I mean, those are still cool names.
Yeah, but it's not the name.
Rip is short for Elmore Rule.
Yeah. Well, looks like he was also kind of a womanizer. Well, look at him.
He's married like 12 times.
Yeah, like 30 times. R.I.P. Rip Torn.
Love him.
Yeah, love him. Great guy. Big fan of his roles in Men in Black. That's my go-to Rip Torn.
That's honestly probably my second go-to Rip Torn.
Is it Dodgeball?
Ooh.
Dodgeball's my go-to.
Dodgeball 2, Men in Black 3, Larry Sanders 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think another one for me is Canadian Bacon. Is another one that I think of him in.
John Candy's last movie?
Yeah.
Or
directed by Michael Moore.
Oh yeah,
one of his only like non-documentary.
Michael Moore fiction. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, Alan Alda, great.
I'm wondering if I'm just thinking it's John Candy's last because
it is.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not crazy.
Yep.
I was wondering if I was just thinking it's that because I consider it for some reason a similar movie to Wagons East,
which is his second last movie.
His second last movie.
Yeah. Right. To date, it is Michael Moore's only non-documentary film he's ever made.
Wow.
Ever, not even feature, like short.
Oh,
everything's either been a documentary or a music video.
He just wanted to dip his toes into real Hollywood.
Well, it was. He did Roger and Me.
Yeah.
He did a TV movie documentary, and then he did Canadian Bacon.
He did a DIY
So I guess
porn.
he hadn't really decided, like, oh, maybe I only like doing documentaries. And then he just did documentaries and music videos. He did 2 Rage Against the Machine music videos.
That's pretty cool.
Sleep Down the Fire and Testify. And then he did an REM video short. And then he did System of a Down's Boom. And then everything else is documentary features. So... But yeah, Canadian Bacon.
Which you could describe John Candy as.
Correct. Although he plays an American in it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
He's doing American face?
I feel like it's very similar to a movie that I know everyone saw, Super Troopers 2. Ugh. Where I believe that they...
No.
I
don't think I'm going to let you talk about it.
Okay. Moving on.
I don't think anyone wants to hear about Super Troopers 2.
In Your House 8.
Let's talk about
Beware of Dog.
Let's talk about Zoolander 2.
Did you see it?
No.
How about Anchorman 2?
No. Keep going.
How about Dumb and Dumber 2? We saw 5 minutes,
little bit,
7
and then
minutes.
It had to
as
stop.
Soon as we heard the line hook, line, and sphincter,
yeah.
You are immediately like, no, off, immediately off. I don't know what else is a bad comedy sequel.
A 15 years later comedy sequel. Those are the big ones. There might be one other I'm missing, but like Anchorman, Super Troopers, Zoolander, Dumb and Dumber are the big 4. I would think just as like terrible comedy sequels to very funny original ones.
Another old school,
you say.
I genuinely think that they're doing a sequel to Wedding Crashers.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
actually.
I think I heard that there's a Wedding Crashers because one of the 2 of them's careers has gone down the shitter. So they're like, well, we'd better
do something.
Save the bad one and stop the other one from doing serious acting roles.
Yeah.
It says it's in
production,
pre-production. So
what is pre-production?
They're
not doing anything.
They're like,
because that would be production.
They're like ordering food.
Okay.
And like hanging and banging,
That's
banging out ideas and getting awkward boners and probably sexually assaulting interns.
A PA.
A PA or an intern. Like,
that's fair. Par for the course. All right, I'll do In Your House now.
All right. I feel like 30 minutes of preamble is good enough for us to get through a pointless talking about wrestling situation.
All right, so we're talking In Your House 8, beware of In Your House 8 and In Your House 8.5.
8B.
Beware of and 8B.
8B.
Beware of Dog and Beware of Dog 2.
For reasons that are unknown. No one will speak of these reasons.
You can't speak about the weather because it was the weather.
It was the weather. I had originally written down that it was Charleston, South Carolina. The In Your House 8A was actually in Florence, South Carolina. At the Civic Center. Attendance 6,000 people.
Yeah.
That is more than I would have guessed.
It looked, I mean, this is their bread and butter right now. Like, filling up mid-size arenas in secondary markets.
Secondary.
Tertiary markets. Quaternary markets. Can I do the fifth one? Not really sure. I would just be guessing based on Latin prefixes.
I don't even know. I didn't even know that Florence, South Carolina was a place.
Was real? Yeah.
Because, like, you can usually
It's not the most famous Florence.
Florence Nightingale.
Exactly.
Florence Nightingale, California.
Nightingale 1, Henderson 2.
Pooh. Florence Pooh.
Pooh 3, Italy 4.
I like Florence Nightingale, California. That's where she grew up. This is, for anyone in the know for wrestling, the wrestling scene, is a very infamous In Your House for a massive power outage, not even halfway through the show.
After the first pay-per-view match.
Yes.
They got the free-for-all out, they got one match, and then right as the second match was about to begin...
Dunzo.
Full, complete power outage in the entire arena.
Was it a tornado?
It was
a tsunami?
South Carolina. Yeah, I think it was a tsunami. Remember when the entire eastern seaboard just like went
blasted
down?
by a tsunami.
I guess it would be kind of hurricane-y.
Yeah.
Because they're a fair ways south down on the east coast, so it's not
and it's May, which is hurricane season.
So they're not far from Florida. So yeah, hurricanes can definitely get up there. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was an official hurricane, but
hurricane
tropical storm
weather. Yeah.
Desert. I think it was Operation Desert Storm.
Hurricane, tropical storm, Janiqua is what it was called.
Or it was the hurricane.
Yeah. But he was in prison, so he broke out and disrupted In Your House.
Then was it just Bob Dylan?
It was Bob Dylan. So
where did I see this? You asked. Good question. I saw Beware of Dog 1 at my friend Sunil's house.
Again.
No, first one was Hussein drew 2 different brown guys who are their own people and have agency.
Are they both Indian?
Yes.
Well, then you know.
Well, not really.
Is
actually.
one Indian and one Pakistani?
One is of Indian in Africa descent.
Okay, that happens.
Yeah. Because there was Uganda was involved.
Oh.
Yeah. I think his dad was Kamala? The Ugandan giant.
Gross. R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P. his legs 10 years ago, and R.I.P. the rest of him last year. Remember when Charles Kamala Harris died the same day that Kamala Harris
was born?
No. Idiot. Got the VP nomination, I believe.
Well,
and there was
one out.
Mass confusion, and every wrestling fan thought that Kamala Harris died.
Well, one in, one out.
Yeah. It's true. It is a circle. It is the law of conservation of Kamalas.
Yeah, it's the no homers club. We're allowed one.
You let Kamala Harris in.
Sorry, Kamala.
Sorry, Charles.
Now we're gonna take your arms.
Oh, he's just a torso?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's just a torso and nubs.
That's rough.
Well, don't get the diabetes.
That's like Freaks 1932.
Yeah,
we're talking.
Google gobble.
Google gobble. What the hell was I saying?
So
watching this.
Who did you watch it with?
Similar crowd. Like there was sometimes one in, one out, but it was for 96 was.
You were the one that was out.
No, I was the glue. I kept everyone together.
Out of the closet.
I kept everyone out of the closet.
Yeah.
I said, no room for anyone else in here.
No one's in
this
the closet.
This closet's all mine.
You stay out.
Get your own closet.
Get your own. This is my closet.
So yeah, we watched the pay-per-view, and so watching on pay-per-view, it just went black shortly after the first match. And we're like, I don't know, things happen. It'll be back in a second. Cut to 15 minutes later, we are freaking out. And this is only our third pay-per-view, like, as a group. We are young into this watching wrestling pay-per-views as a group thing. We are all so fucking gay for wrestling, it's insane. Like, when your pay-per-view cuts out, your world ends.
Yeah.
It was catastrophic. So we're on the phone with Rogers Cable. Which is making a comeback, I think.
Yep.
Because they bought Shaw. Yeah. So welcome back, Rogers Cable. Try not to drop the ball with pay-per-views again.
Welcome back.
Yeah, calling them, asking what the fuck. Maybe it got refunded. I don't know, but who cares about a refund? I want to see my fucking wrestling. I'll give you $1 million. I don't care about refunds. I'll give you $1 million if you make the wrestling come back on right now. But they couldn't. And I don't actually remember if we got back together on the Tuesday, because it would have been a school night, to watch part 2. So I don't know. I don't know if it just ended up being individual viewing or what. I can't actually tell you.
Okay.
I specifically remember the situation on the Sunday, because it's one of my most traumatic memories.
Right.
Besides the other thing.
Behind realizing that you were just a human.
Shut up. Look, I'm saving up. I got a fucking sick tax return that someone else in this room didn't.
Yep.
And we're well on our way to 50% of the surgery fund. Now, if you guys want to...
The right side or the left side?
Left side. Now, if you guys want to contribute to the surgery fund, send us a little something. And thank you to the couple who have already at paypal.me/NotScottEnsign. So we can... Look, neither of us are comfortable in our... These are not the bodies we were meant to be born in. I feel like if I keep talking, I'm just going to actually insult real trans people. So I'll curb it. But for real, I do want to get trans-species surgery. Not a bit. So send me some money.
Help us out.
I
want a real tail.
Yeah.
I want to be annoyed by something I can't take off as opposed to something I can take off.
Yeah.
I like the bigger the better. I'm a tail size queen.
You kind of are. Like when you were getting your snow leopard gear, you were sending me like the measurements for the tail you were getting. I'm like, that's too big. I'm like, look, as a tail veteran at this point, you don't want the tail past touching the ground.
And I said...
You want it at your ankles.
Nope.
And you said, fuck you.
My non-alcoholic
beer. I want
beer.
48 inches.
I want it so that when I'm walking around in the ring, I have to actively not step on
always be tripping on it. I want it 48 inches long and like a 1.5 foot girth.
I want when I go to the second rope to jump off and do a move, that it gets stuck in the ropes.
Yes.
And I don't really get a good jump.
Yes.
That's what I want.
That is what you want.
I am a tail size queen.
Yeah, and I respect that.
Yeah. Big, long, and thick.
You do like them long and thick.
Yeah, long and thick.
And that is also your specifications for any art of you. Like, that tail better be big enough.
Yeah, thick tails, please.
Yeah.
Thick and stupidly long.
Yeah, also send us art. We love art.
I gotta get that art done for that shirt that I want.
Oh my god. I'm so excited about that shirt. Do we say the shirt or do we sit on the shirt for a while?
No, we can say the shirt. It's fine.
Okay, go ahead. It's your idea.
The idea of me like in an adorable pose where there's like a tabletop in front of me. My tail is just like a coil, like a massive anaconda that is like serpentine, like in like a giant pile behind me.
Yeah.
Like over completely exaggerated, like 10 times longer than it actually is, piled up behind me, with me just snorting lines of coke.
But it looks like snow is the key.
Like snow, but like it's just snow. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it's clearly not just snow.
You're in open quotations snow, close quotations leopard.
That's what I want.
Yeah, love it.
Perfect.
If anyone wants to do that, go nuts.
That would be amazing. I would love you forever.
Yeah.
Save me the trouble of trying to find someone to make it for me.
Yeah.
But yes, that is. I don't know how we got from where you were watching it. I don't think I had ever seen anything other than the Strat match from this. So okay. I don't think I ever watched it.
I mean, if you're going to see one thing, that's the right thing.
I think that was on a VHS like compilation
I could see that.
That my parents must have bought me at some point.
Yeah.
So this starts off with the free-for-all. We've missed a lot since the last one.
But even if we were watching every TV, we would have still missed the Godwins winning the tag team titles last week because they won it at a house show in Madison Square Garden.
At a house show at Madison Square Garden where I guess Sunny turned
on the body Donnas and joined the Godwins because she loves that pig dick.
She wants some of that pig dick from Phineas.
That corkscrew pig dick.
Long corkscrew. That's kind of got its own elbow.
Yeah. You think pigtails are long and curly? Check out their dicks.
So the idea behind this is in the back they have a promo, an interview with the Godwins, and it has been revealed that Sunny now has tricked. Well, we don't know, but she's convinced Phineas to sign a contract with her so that she can be the co-manager of the Godwins along with Hillbilly Jim.
The country boy.
Which Hillbilly Jim and Henry O are not too thrilled about.
They're like, this slut is lying. Why can't you see that?
Yeah.
And the answer, because he's a pig.
Yes, he's a pig. He is a dumb old pig. Rooting around for truffles.
I also hypothesized a fourth Godwin brother. So we got Henry O. Henry O. Godwin, H-O-G. Phineas I. Godwin, P-I-G.
P-I-G.
The unseen, unspoken of third brother, Fatty A. Godwin.
No, the uncle.
Sorry, the uncle Fatty A. Godwin.
Fatty A. Godwin.
And then, of course, the brother from another mother, Ned I. Godwin. But anyway.
Nedley I. Godwin.
Nedley.
So, this match was not as good as the Godwins versus the Body Donnas that we saw last show.
It was not, but
it was still pretty. It was still okay.
Henry O. Godwin hits those fucking ropes.
Yeah, he goes hard.
Damn.
He runs real hard into those ropes. For sure.
Like, he's one of those guys who should be doing that stupid lucha rope running that I hate, where you put your left hand down on the middle
to
rope.
Make sure you don't go through.
Which is literally the only reason you do it is on the crazy off chance that the ropes break, you'll brace yourself more.
Yes.
But, like, Henry looks like he's going to break the ropes every
he's a big dude.
Time he hits them. Like, he's a big dude and hits them hard.
Should he be put on the Mount Rushmore of realizing they're big?
No, because you know he's big.
I guess it's true. He's got all that growing up on a farm, so he's a big farm boy.
He's got farm boy looks and farm boy strength.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about the Mount Rushmore of guys who are deceptively huge, and we
tall, not in the crotch.
But you never know. Yeah, but like guys who like they look like basically a normal guy in a wrestling ring, but then you find out they're 6'7".
Yeah.
And the big four we had were Jake Roberts, Scott Hall, Billy Gunn, and
Goldust.
Goldust, that's right.
Dustin. Yeah.
Who are all really, really tall guys who don't really look like it.
Yes. I think we can get to how tall Dustin is later.
Yeah.
So there was a weird corner to corner spot with Phineas and Bart where
clearly one guy is supposed to duck down like he's doing, which would have been Bart.
Yes.
Yeah, like, because Bart whipped Phineas into the corner, and Phineas was supposed to stumble out. Bart was going to go for a back body drop. Phineas was going to kick him.
Telegraph him.
However. So Bart did that. Bart upheld his end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Phineas, upon hitting the corner, instead of stumbling out of it, also ducked.
Yes.
So then they both just bowed to each other for a minute.
Well, they had a moment of respect.
Yeah, time stood still.
Mutual respect. And then they just had to, like, go back into whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
There was a ridiculous Phineas putting Billy in Bart in a like supposed to be like a wrist lock or an arm bar.
It was absolutely nothing.
He was literally just holding his arm under his armpit
and lightly,
in the position that his arm goes,
lightly bending it the right way.
Yeah, like there was no actual submission being placed on. It was just a standing rest hold.
Yeah.
Looked bad. So the very end was Sonny getting up on the apron, Billy going in,
sexually assaults
giving
her.
a big old smooch, while Phineas is in the ring. He's staring at them kissing. He's then,
like,
what are you doing, man? Meanwhile, Bart sneaks up behind him.
Hits his new finisher.
The
Yuji Nagata bridging backdrop suplex.
Bridging backdrop suplex. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, it looked fine. It is not the move I was expecting.
Yep. Yeah, it was. If we've learned anything from In Your House is that anything's a finisher. You don't have to actually do your move.
Two bridging suplexes tonight.
One was better than the other. How about the fact that Bart Gunn did it better than Shawn Michaels?
Bart did the bridge.
Yeah,
no one was worried about. No one was worried about Bart's shoulders on the mat.
Spoiler. I think that Bart doesn't get enough credit for being a serviceable worker.
He's pretty decent. He's pretty decent for sure.
Yeah. I think everybody just knows him as Brawl for All, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But like, he takes stupid bumps.
He does.
Which he surprisingly didn't take in this match. Yeah. And he's like a pretty serviceable worker.
Yeah, and he did some decent work as Mike Barton in Japan afterwards. There's that insanely overachieving, which I don't know if I've ever seen. It was the finals of the 2001 New Japan Tag League, Tenkoji against Barton and Jim Steele, and it fucking rocks.
I think we did watch it.
Or did we watch it?
I think it came up at some point, and we did watch it.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
Is there a
rock concert happening?
Is there an ethnic festival going? Is it the Puerto Rican Day Parade going on outside?
Yeah, we better go outside and burn the flag,
or wear the ribbon, or not wear the ribbon,
or not wear the ribbon.
Who will not wear the ribbon?
I like gay Puerto Ricans.
Is there any other kind?
I love you, overly eccentric Puerto Rican guy only wearing a cock sock.
You show me a straight Puerto Rican, and I'll show you a Dominican.
They do hate the gays. I don't know where that noise is coming from.
It's all around.
It's not from here.
Like you have windows on 3 sides of your apartment, and it's coming through every window. Also, and very close.
And now it's rap too.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Is it Bad Bunny? Did you check your speaker? It's not your speakers. It's coming from outside. Is there a party?
There is. Okay, I'm gonna wait till I'm closer to the mic.
Get to the mic.
There is. Is
there a party in your parking lot?
There is a man of a certain ethnicity who his people may or may not have owned this land before us.
I see.
Riding a mobile scooter with essentially like a early 2000s boombox.
Hell yes.
On the back of it, riding up the street.
I mean, shout out to him for sounding like a whole festival.
And it sounded like he was listening to some kind of like late 90s, early 2000s like Canadian hip hop.
It sounded like Rascals.
He was listening to the Rascals.
It sounded like the Rascals, yeah.
Which, all right, and it just so happened that the kitchen window was open, so weird. I'm sure you didn't hear any of the music.
No, that was for us. But I feel like we painted a good word picture.
It was a good picture, especially if people can't guess what ethnicity he was. Where was I? Anyways, so
who owned the country before? The French?
I mean, not this part of the country, but the far side of the country is French. Anyways, so Bart gets the pin. New champs. They were champions for less than a week.
Is that the Godwins' only reign?
No, I think they have it.
What do you think about that?
I think they have it a second time.
They must. They must have for more than 1 week total in their careers as pig farmers.
They have it. So, where am I? No, I don't want the Henry. Okay, yeah. So they had it for 7 days.
That was their first reign,
and then they win it again in 1 year from now.
Oh, probably as heels?
They win it as heels. They beat the Headbangers.
Ah.
And they lose it to the Legion of Doom. They held it held it for 2 days.
So their total time as tag champions was 9 days. Yowza. And is the loss to the Legion of Doom
breaking?
Henry getting his shit fucked up?
It must be.
Yeah.
How many defenses? Nope. Yeah, that is it. That is absolutely the match. They
nice.
We get to see them win it on Bad Blood in Your House.
Oh, we see it.
And they lose.
We don't see them lose it.
On Raw.
Damn.
So
it was on Raw where he got fucked up, not a pay-per-view.
Yeah. So that's the one.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
check it out, guys. Want to see a very large man get his neck broken?
Yeah. It's not the grossest injury.
And was it you that had no memory? Oh no, I think it was Brian Alvarez actually, not you. No memory of Henry Godwin like after the neck injury. I think Alvarez thought like his career was over.
He was done. No, he was back, and
he's back in Brawl for All.
He even was in FCW in like 2008.
Like
they brought him in.
They brought him back
to try and like be a mentor to some. I think.
Who was a young pig at that time?
It was Jesse of Jesse and Festus fame.
That makes sense.
Ray Gordy. And then he was around for a little while in developmental. Had some like a dark match tryouts on the main roster, and I guess
he was in FCW. That's right.
Yeah, but I think the last time I saw him, he was still like in pretty decent shape.
I think he was in solid shape then for sure.
He's still like he's still a hog, with a hog
and a hoss.
So that was it for the free for all.
Yeah.
And then so now we go to what we watched was I guess it's not the network release, but
after the free for all, we did watch the network release.
Oh, that's the network release. Okay, yeah. So
it's the two put together.
So we got to see what was recorded at the pay-per-view when there was lights,
the opener and the main event,
and then we were watching the live 2 days later. Yeah. So the first thing after that, we got Lawler and Vince opening the show. There was some weird reference to the troops
about people like
fighting for their freedom.
They were talking about like making they never said troops, but they said like they were thanking people who made the ultimate sacrifice. I'm like, what was going on? Who was making the ultimate sacrifice in 1996?
The only thing I can think of is
not
like
the Oklahoma bombing. That's 95, I think.
I don't know, man. The only thing I can think of is like maybe they mean no, because this is from the original broadcast.
Yeah.
Then I literally have no idea.
Right? It makes no sense.
I was going to say maybe it's the people who had to give up their Tuesday to film another
the ultimate sacrifice, giving up Tuesday.
The ring crew and the referees who have to sacrifice their Tuesday.
We'd like to thank those brave men and women making the ultimate sacrifice for their country and giving up Tuesday.
The ultimate solution. So the opening match is Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Wildman Mark Miro. This is sort of the continuation of the Sable storyline.
I want to fuck Sable. No, I want to fuck Sable.
Well, why don't we ask Sable? No.
Did anyone at any point consider asking Sable who she wanted to fuck?
She doesn't get an opinion.
She was like,
she's
don't
property.
know. I'm just a
Hunter
girl.
owned her, and then Mark owned her.
And there was some sort of trade for future
property.
considerations.
Yeah. It is goods and services for money.
So
the match starts hot and heavy.
It started good. They were like doing big stuff fast. Off the top. Yeah.
I didn't really hear, but I don't think Lawler made any references to her not being attractive.
He did not.
So I guess I
think they told him to stop.
Maybe, but wouldn't they be the ones telling him to say it?
A lot of good questions.
A lot of good questions, but no answers. So yeah, hot and heavy. Hunter bumps to the floor. Mero tries to springboard himself up and over to the floor. Doesn't really make it.
It was dicey.
He goes over, but his trailing leg doesn't make it over. So
I was surprised he didn't fully just crotch himself.
Yes, it was very close.
He saved it.
Man, the one note that I made was just Hunter loves going over the top.
Oh, if you whip him in the corner, or even punch him in the corner,
or even close to the corner,
he's going over.
He does it 3 times. In the whole match.
Loves it.
Just like the getting thrown in the corner, go in back first, but hook your arm and then flip your body over the top rope. 3 times in this fucking match. He does a bunch of Hunter does a bunch of silly bumping around, overselling big spots, and I mean, Wildman's got tons of fast-paced, flashy offense.
They're both working hard.
So Hunter's really trying to get that over.
Yeah, Hunter's game for it. He's the game for it. In fact.
Then it all kind of takes a real turn for the worse. Mero runs at him real hard in the corner, and Hunter moves, and he takes just a really hard shoulder into the ring post.
Yes.
And then from there, it just becomes
slow.
shooter Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yeah, Hunter doing just full on arm bars, slapping on a Juji Gatame.
Yeah, just he's obviously trying to counteract Mero doing the big punch.
Yes,
because his one of his big spots is the big wind up punch.
I love the gimmick of the high flying boxer.
You know what?
That's a lot of tools in the box.
It's a good combination.
Yeah,
it's a good combination. Just wait till he starts doing.
Wait
till he starts wearing those boxing shorts.
Yeah.
With the do rag and taping his fists, but also doing shooting stars.
Yeah. I consider myself a brawling gymnast.
Okay. So you're doing the splits, but also you punch so hard you can knock people out?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. It just crawled to a dead stop.
I was saying, and I've noticed this with a lot of In Your House matches. Most of them go too long.
Because got to fill a lot of time.
2-hour show, 5 matches. Every match is going 20 minutes, and not every match should go 20 minutes.
No, not even.
Very few should go 20 minutes.
Very few matches.
But they all do.
This one goes 16.
Yeah, too long. If this had gone 9 or 10, great.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is that an opener between Mero and Hunter goes the same as the world title match of Shawn and Bulldog.
Yes.
And it doesn't need to.
It doesn't.
It absolutely doesn't need to.
P.S. Shawn and Bulldog didn't need to.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But this match, you could have cut it in half.
Absolutely.
You're continuing the feud anyways, so it's not like you have to have this big beat 'em down, showcase how strong you are.
Yeah, no, this wasn't a blow off.
It doesn't make any sense. Mero does another rolling prawn hold. Yeah. Is it a technical name for it, or is it just the rolling prawn hold?
It's the rolling prawn hold.
All right, yeah.
I don't know. It's rolling reverse cradle or something like that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he does it again. Looks great. It looks really good. I think I kind of almost bit on it being the finish.
You always
because we were
halfway
into the match.
Yeah,
so
that's
I was
true.
Okay, that makes sense. But no. Then Hunter does more silly shit where he goes up to the top, but Mero's way too far away from him.
Yeah.
And so by the time that Mero turns around, Hunter's already jumping, and he has to throw out a side hand.
Yeah, it wasn't even
chop to the head.
He couldn't even pull off a full both hands double axe handle. It was just a one arm flail. I'm look, if that's all it takes to do top rope moves, I could be a top rope guy. I thought you had to do cool stuff off the top rope, which I can't do.
You could be a regular Pac.
It could be.
Pac Henson.
Often, the comparisons are often drawn.
Yes. Because you both have terrible hair, giant ears.
Disgusting greasy hair,
and you
rat
look like
ears.
Cavemen. Yeah.
And just one of the most trash accents you'll ever hear.
Oh, it's awful. Can't even understand it. You need subtitles for a man who speaks English, technically. Mero then does a really smooth looking Hunter sitting on the top Hurricane Rana.
Yep.
Hunter takes a really good fast bump on it.
Yeah.
Which is great. Then there was just an excellent, like really, really good tilt-a-whirl head scissors takedown.
Yeah, like Mero almost landed on his feet.
Yeah, like he could have landed on his feet if he wanted to.
It was like some 2005 Mystico shit.
Real smooth.
Yeah.
Then man, like it's so crazy that you spend the majority of this match with Hunter doing boring ground grappling submission stuff.
You cut out the middle of this match and it's amazing.
And because then you got Mero doing big Hurricane Rana, a huge tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Then he does the biggest dive off the top rope sunset flip onto Hunter.
He jumps into the sky.
He
jumps so high. It looks awesome.
He goes as high as S.A. Rios moonsaults in No Mercy.
Yes.
Like, gets so much air. It was huge.
Yeah.
Then Hunter goes over the top again.
Obviously.
Then Mero misses a somersault plancha to the floor.
Lands on his feet.
And looks like he completely destroys his leg.
But it appeared to be entirely planned.
He landed weird on purpose, so it looked like he actually hurt himself.
Yeah, and then Triple H went after his leg right away.
And then after all this work...
After working on his arm to take away his punch the whole match, then goes to work on the leg.
Now he's working on the whole leg. So he's doing leg work. They get back on the ring. He's doing more leg work. Mero,
he's gonna hit the pedigree.
But
Sable won't watch, so he won't do it.
He can only finish if you're watching him.
That's true.
Hunter is a voyeur. He needs you to look at him. So he goes outside. He yells at her.
How about fantastic voyeur?
Fantastic voyeur. Yeah. So he goes outside to get her to pay attention. He comes back in. He goes for it again. Mero drops... sweeps out his legs.
Fantastic voyeur is when a bunch of scientists shrink themselves down and shoot themselves into a woman's body to look at her tits from the inside.
You gotta see the fat. You gotta see the meat.
Oh shit! My scheduled tweet posted. Excellent. I think I'm gonna show it to you, Drew. I think you're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Why don't I just look at it on my phone?
Why don't you look at it on yours? If you have notifications turned on for me, it'll be right there for you. It's I'll just. It's the classic 3-tiered Drake meme.
Yeah.
The first one is Drake with the hand in front of his face saying, "No, I don't like that," which is for grooming kids because that's bad. And then the Drake is smiling, pointing at you, and that's for grooming dogs because that's cool. And then the Drake laser eyes super A for grooming dogs like kids. Guys,
I love it.
Guys, go like my tweet from last week.
Love it.
It's very good.
So...
What did I write with it? Oh, I wrote, "Guys, I make memes now." My first scheduled tweet. You're a part of history.
Well, there you go.
I learned that existed yesterday.
Not bad. For the people interested in actual professional wrestling...
What's that?
They just announced Andrade's first post WWE match will be on the 31st of June.
Drew, I question that. Do you know why I question that?
31st of July.
That makes more sense.
Or maybe it's just the first one announced. Maybe it's not his first. Maybe he'll have another match.
First match will be on February 37th.
He is wrestling for Nacion Lucha Libre.
NLL.
Where he will be
Which is not what I thought that stood for.
Nope. He will be wrestling...
I thought it was more of an urban Lucha Libre promotion.
As...
Andrade El Idolo? Something like that?
I don't know. The whole thing's in Spanish, so my...
Well, stop pretending you know Spanish.
But, anyways, he will be wrestling against one Alberto Del Rio.
Oh boy. Andrade don't give a fuck. That's who you want your first match to be against?
I mean, apparently.
Well, I hope they start dating afterwards and get into a domestic situation.
And I guess another match that is potentially happening on that show is the what is Hunico as Sin Cara called? Cinta de Oro?
Cinta de Oro, yes.
Versus Kalisto. I guess as Samurai del Sol, I guess.
Maybe? Oh, sorry. When you said Kalisto, I thought you meant Caristico. I'm like, ooh, Mystico on Mystico action.
Oh, no.
No, Kalisto. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is he going back to Samurai del Sol or what?
It doesn't say. It just says the former Kalisto. So,
okay.
Whatever he decides to change his name to or go back to. Anyways,
this has been your
Lucha Libre
sort of Lucha Libre report.
I'll do Lucha Libre and hockey corners, but only on the wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so Hunter goes for the pedigree again. Mero sweeps out his legs, gives him a slingshot where he fires himself all the way up onto the corner post.
Post, not the turnbuckle.
A la Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
And then Miro just pins him. And then that's the finish.
Because anything's a finish. In your house.
Why hit your actual finishing move when you can just do whatever?
Why do your thing when you can do some other thing?
Why bother getting over a spot you want to do when you can just do something that everyone can do? So backstage we get Camp Cornette. It's essentially Cornette saying that they've got too much going on tonight, and he can't focus on Vader versus Yokozuna and British Bulldog versus Shawn Michaels, but he knows that Bulldog needs somebody in his corner. So he's talked to the South Carolina Athletic Commission, and he's gotten Owen Hart a one-day pass as a professional wrestling manager.
Correct.
Why?
Got to do something.
Got to do something. It just, like, we said this as we were watching it. They're like, wrestling athletic commissions are the dumbest fucking thing.
Stupid.
Like, wrestling's not real.
It's fake, you idiots.
Also, you can just do whatever you want. It's not like any other time in this show where they trying to make it seem legit.
Yeah.
You can just say, you don't even have to say anything. You can just say that Owen will be in Bulldog's corner. Done.
Yeah.
You don't need this athletic commission stuff. And so, but Owen is wearing Michigan gear.
Owen didn't go to Michigan.
And has his hand in a cast.
Yeah.
All of these things are news to us.
He has this cast for like 6 more months.
Yes.
He does the cast gimmick for a long time.
Was it an actual injury or it was just Owen being a heel?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll never find out because I'm never going to look it up.
Fair enough.
So now we get the British Bulldog challenging for the WWF World title.
The only other match that aired on the Sunday.
Which was supposed to be the main event, but ends up being in the middle of the show.
When you
watch it
together.
This way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bulldog comes to the ring with his entourage of everyone.
Yeah.
And then backstage, they show Sean and Jose Lothario getting themselves whatever prepped. As they walk to the ring, he bumps into Mr. Perfect, like shoulder to shoulder, and they have this like weird brief second of like, hey, you are a piece of shit, and I like drugs. We should do drugs together.
Deal. That's the deal I've been waiting for. It appears the cast is 100% fake.
Oh, okay. Weird.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to do.
Mm-hmm. I get a big Bob Orton fan.
I guess. So as Sean gets all the way to the ring, in the free-for-all, there was a promo package for everything that was happening. I was surprised they didn't show it again before this, which is why I didn't write down the note for it, because I assumed we would be seeing it again. But then we didn't. So the whole idea behind this is that it is alluded to that Sean has been actively trying to fuck Diana Smith, which he is like, ew, gross, she's a woman, and I'm clearly gay, look at my hat.
Yeah, Sean is like, 1, have you seen her? 2, I'm gay.
2, I'm gay. So then at one point he super kicked Clarence Mason.
Racist.
Then there was a hilarious thing on Raw where Diana was at the commentary table while Sean was doing commentary and getting in his face, and she picked up a glass of water and she threw it to his right.
Yeah.
You stupid bitch.
One
You
job.
have one fucking job. And it's not even, Scott. I can hear what you're thinking in your head. You're like, Drew, she's a woman and she's doing a coordinated thing. Of course, it's not going to work out. And listen, I would normally agree with you, Scott.
9 times out of 10, I'm right there with you.
How much you think women can't do anything. The fact of the matter is, she is part of the greatest professional wrestling family in the history of wrestling.
You think just by osmosis she'd have a bit of coordination?
You think you would have picked up how to work from, I don't know, all 8 of her brothers wrestling and her dad and her husband and her
Brett,
other
Owen,
brothers-in-law?
Bruce, Keith, Skippy, Hart
is his fucking name. But yeah, it's so crazy that she can't even emote like up. She has to go away from me. What if I splash him in the face and he gets mad at me? Well, that's the point. You stupid broad.
She's such a zero.
She's such a stupid bitch. So, yeah, anyway, so Clarence Mason comes out and he presents the he gives some random guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I guess he's like who are the guys that serve papers?
Process server?
Process server, yeah. So I guess some random guy is a process server. And Mason on the microphone claims that Sean is being served a subpoena to appear for attempted alienation of affection.
Oh, the dreaded AAA?
And we're like, that's not a thing.
It's not real.
That's not a real thing.
Trying to fuck someone's wife is not against the law. That is your right as an American.
As an American. And also, she's Canadian and he's British. So you can do whatever you want. They're not even from here.
They're not even people.
They're aliens. I guess that's why it's alienation.
I don't think that's why it's alienation. How about Alien Nation? Remember that? Remember that show?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Was it a Sci-Fi Channel original?
No, it was. I would say it's before the Sci-Fi Channel existed.
Is it a Fox thing?
It was 90s. I don't know if it was Fox. I feel like it could have been cable. I'm gonna say it was cable. 90s
Alien
cable.
Nation, 1989
89
to 1990.
Oh, 1 year. Wow.
I couldn't tell you what it was on though.
I'm gonna say it wasn't network, but that's not a guarantee.
I do like us.
Oh, it was also a film? Oh, it was a 1988 movie and then made a series. Aired on Fox.
There you go.
There you go.
Fox like
I guess 80s Fox are taking what they can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like a preemptive move for them getting all those weird mid-90s sci-fi stuff because they were all about that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean X-Files for huge, but also Millennium.
Shout out to Lance Henriksen,
who I remember that show always being promoted and never watching it until I got older. And then I was like, man, I should have watched this when it was on TV.
I definitely watched some. I don't think I watched all.
There was a Sasquatch episode.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't there be?
I don't know. I think there was also a Sasquatch episode of the X-Files, but it wasn't actually a Sasquatch.
Yeah, that's often what it is.
It was like a scientist who had accidentally, I don't know, done experiments on someone, and they turned into like a weird creature.
I think so,
and
yeah.
it was in the California wilderness, so everybody thought it was Bigfoot.
Yeah, like... the reveal was, no, stupid, it's not Sasquatch, it's a werewolf.
It's a mutant guy. It's a human being.
There's no such thing as Sasquatch.
Werewolves, though. Yeah, that real interesting. Anyways, attempted to sleep with an ugly woman who's married to an ugly man. Of course, Sean denies it and rips up the paperwork in the middle of the ring, to which causes Bulldog to be very angry.
Yeah.
So the match starts. It's kind of whatever to begin. There was a very specific point in the match where Scott and I were both distracted by a human monster sitting in the front row.
An X-Files monster in their own right.
In their own right. They could have been a feature player on any episode in season 2 or 3.
They could have been a creature feature.
It
was one of those huge fat Southern women that's...
So, 3 chins.
That's so fat... they look like they have Down syndrome. Like, not that all Down syndrome people are really fat, but none of them are in good shape. But the fat on the person gives them features that are,
and what it is that their actual skull doesn't get bigger, obviously.
Yeah.
But the fat on their face
has got to go somewhere.
Is so much bigger than their skull that their cheeks go like up
droops
into their face and their forehead goes down over their face.
Yeah.
So their eyes are very small and sort of hidden in the fat.
Beady little pig eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real like hard look. So after our distraction by that, now all of a sudden we get fucking Shooter McGavin and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Triple H and Shawn obviously like discovered UWFI that week, and they're like, we can do holds.
Or just wanted to be annoying pieces of shit. I feel like that's on the table of what they wanted to do.
That is certainly on the
table. So yeah, Shawn starts doing like arm locks as a baby face. So he's now doing rest holds and killing time as a babyface, as a flashy, high flying, super popular babyface, and like it's so boring.
Yeah.
I guess the only cool thing out of it is Bulldog eventually getting to his to his feet while Shawn's got him in an arm lock, and he just very easily shoots him up to his shoulder, and does a back drop and slams him.
Good strong boy move.
Very good.
Yeah.
But then we noticed after doing nothing but rest holds for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, they both seemed like very tired, and the pace completely slowed down.
Yeah.
To nothing. Like they were doing nothing. There was a long ass fucking double down, and then right after the double down, it was just Bulldog putting him in a Canadian backbreaker for
was
2 minutes.
It was nothing but holds. It was so boring.
There was a very, very funny, both running the ropes across at each other.
Yeah, Bulldog throws a clothesline while they're running at each other. Shawn awkwardly ducks. I think Bulldog might have thrown it left.
Yeah, I think it was a lefty.
And that threw Shawn off, and he did this weird stumble, and then just absolutely bailed out of the ring.
Flew under the bottom rope to the floor.
Yeah.
And it looked unintentional, but also
But how could something so much have been unintentional?
Yeah, if you trip like that, your natural instinct would be to stop yourself from falling.
Yeah.
Whereas he just went with it and flew out of the ring.
Yeah. He died and his soul left his body.
Yeah. So they go outside. It whips him into the guardrail, and then there's just I had to fast forward because it was just Shawn on the floor with the referee and Bulldog arguing over Shawn, and it was just just get back in the fucking ring.
Yeah.
Do something.
Do something. You're the main event.
Yeah.
You're the second match on pay-per-view.
So eventually, Bulldog gets back in the ring. Shawn gets up on the apron. He guillotines him on the top.
Yeah.
Then Shawn tries to do a Mike Awesome-esque slingshot over the top rope clothesline with considering how skinny and athletic Shawn is, he barely makes it in the ring.
He gets zero height, zero distance.
Yeah.
It is worse than anyone that Mike Awesome, who is twice his size, has ever done.
Yeah, Mike Awesome better than Shawn Michaels.
Agree.
So after they get back in the ring, then they finally start doing stuff. But of course, that has to go to bullshit. So,
however, the start of the bullshit was pretty good because in steps MVP of the match, Earl Hebner.
Yeah, in your house, secret MVP. Earl Hebner, who dies for the second time on an In Your House.
Jesus Christ. So, was it Bulldog, just runs
I think Bulldog,
with, a shoulder block?
I think Bulldog runs and Shawn properly ducks a clothesline. And then he hits the opposite ropes, and as he runs back to do the shoulder tackle, Shawn moves, and he just 100 miles an hour hits Earl Hebner harder than Earl's ever been hit in his life.
Goes absolutely flying.
And Earl, there's no way that Earl could have stopped himself from doing this if he wanted to.
No.
He flew through the second rope and straight to the floor.
Yeah.
And,
Died.
seemed to be okay.
But, yeah, he hit hard.
Yeah. So Shawn goes up, hits an elbow drop. He then teases for the sweet chin music. Owen slides in from behind. He eats the sweet chin music. Then Bulldog gets back up. They brawl a little bit.
Second ref comes in.
Second ref comes down, Mike Coyote.
Yeah.
Shawn then whips Bulldog hard into the corner. He takes the Hart family, hit as hard as you can with your chest, stumbles out. Shawn gives him... an attempted German suplex, but the guy is much bigger than him, and Shawn clearly doesn't want to do it.
He's not used to doing German suplexes, which is why it's not a straight on, it's the guy all on one side of you German suplex.
Also goes into the finish, I guess. So he hits the German, but by this point, Earl is sort of back awake, and is outside the ring but looking at the match. Coyote counts the three count, and then there's a brief pause, and then Bulldog's music plays, and Coyote awards Bulldog the win. But then and then Cornette runs down, he jumps on Bulldog, they celebrate, and then Hebner rolls in, and he's like, no, I watched, he pinned him. And then, they do the back and forth of he wins, no, he wins. And then fucking Diana Hart, the stupid bitch, grabs the title belt and leaves the ring and backs up the entranceway holding the belt. Then Gorilla Monsoon comes down, grabs the belt from her, goes back in the ring. He then says that the referees have declared that this is a draw. Or no, he tells Howard Finkel that the match has been declared a draw. To then, in my opinion, Howard Finkel says...
Slightly redundant?
The dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard said on a pay-per-view. Where he says that President...
I think he's acting president.
Acting President Gorilla Monsoon has declared that this match is a draw. However, the WWF title cannot change hands on a draw, so the still World Wrestling Federation champion, Shawn Michaels. And I was
in case you don't know how draws go, that sentence shouldn't have started with however, as if that second piece of information is a surprise.
Yes.
If you had to say the second part, it should be something to the effect of, this match has been declared a draw, and the WWF title from the 1970s can't change hands on a draw, adoy.
You buffoons. Yeah, it was just, as it happened, and I said, well, yeah, no shit. The other guy didn't win.
Yeah. And also, in the first place, who is the asshole ref counting down the shoulders of the guy who did the suplex and not the guy who got suplexed?
Mike Coyote is 100% at fault for this.
What a piece of shit.
It's obviously the one guy did the move, so he's doing the pin. But you don't look at him. You don't look at the guy taking the move.
Yeah, wouldn't you look at the guy who start by looking at the guy who got suplexed?
Yeah. And if you're capable of counting the 3 count against Shawn, why is it not the 3 count against Bulldog?
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Exactly.
Rip Torn.
Shout out to Rip Torn, second time on this podcast. Yeah, it's such bad refereeing and bad storytelling.
Yeah.
And also, what a dumb fucking thing to say.
And also the British Bulldogs' 4th unsuccessful world title challenge in 6 in your houses.
Don't worry, there will be at least one more.
But not on your house, unfortunately. But next month he does once again unsuccessfully challenged on King of the Ring.
Now the
end of show.
Now the Sunday show that didn't work out well is over.
Yeah.
Now they immediately cut to Jim Ross and Mr. Perfect, who are now in Charleston, South Carolina, with a much smaller crowd. They went from 6,000...
Cobbled together in 2 days.
Yeah, they went from 6,000 at the pay-per-view to around 4,000 on the Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
So what they're doing is the pay-per-view they did all of the other matches
in the dark.
To
which I asked,
for whatever reason,
why?
I guess because some people in the crowd could see it and they were already there.
Sure.
I have no idea. So then what they do is now on the Tuesday, they redo the matches that were in the dark.
Yeah.
So that everyone can see them and it's on pay-per-view. So they start with the Caribbean Strat match,
which these poor fuckers had to do 2 days ago in the dark, and they're probably kind of beat up from it.
The night on the Sunday, they went 15 minutes in the dark.
Wow.
And on this show, they went 21 minutes not in the dark.
Wow.
So they not only did go longer, but they did it in 2 days apart.
Yeah.
Like, that would suck.
Yeah, I would have mailed it. If it had been clear at the time, which probably wasn't because they were the first match when the power went out, but if it had been clear that we're doing this again with the lights on in 2 days, I'd have mailed it the fuck in on the first day. But I bet they didn't.
They absolutely didn't. I remember at some point hearing an interview with Austin where both he and Savio were just like, you know, we're here for the crowd, let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
So they just did it. And then 2 days later, they go out and do it more.
Yeah.
So I guess to make it more interesting, considering it already technically happened, they add the stipulation that if Austin loses, then DiBiase is gone from the company, and if Austin wins, then Savio has to be DiBiase's chauffeur and errand boy, of course, because he's ethnic. So why not?
Yeah.
So they show the highlights from the Sunday match, which you can't really see anything really. There are some arena like emergency lights, but that doesn't really help anything.
Yeah, it's not pitch dark, but it's dark.
Yeah. So I mean, the match honestly is very brutal.
Oh,
like, they're laying in those shots full on. Like,
they go for it.
There's not a lot of worked shots. The start of the match is very much Austin, like, not wanting to get in the ring. He rolls out a lot. Savio tries to pull him back in. There's a lot of tomfuckery to start. Eventually, once Savio sort of gets the offense up on him, so anyone who's not familiar with the Strat match, the idea is you have to touch all 4 turnbuckles in a row to win the match. So the rules are, in this, at least the way that the commentators start the match is a little confusing, because it seemed like they were implying that you have to go to all 4 in a row and there cannot be any interruption in the middle. So, like, if the other guy throws a punch, then you have to start again. Or if the other guy touches the turnbuckle, you start again. But then it becomes pretty clear by the end that that wasn't the case.
Nope.
So I don't know if I misheard it or they said it wrong. But it was,
Are you stupid or are they stupid?
I mean, both.
That's a real Sophie's choice.
It's both.
Yeah.
So there, eventually, when Savio gets the heat on Austin, he does the first one, he does the second one, and then as he's going for the third one, the strap ends up going between his legs.
Yeah.
And Austin yanks on the rope. And Savio does a very good, like, flipping front bump.
It was great.
Off it. Very, very good.
It looked very legit.
Then they battle the floor a bunch. Then Perfect on commentary apparently gets confused as to where the kidneys are in a human body. Yeah. Austin gives Savio the old, like, kind of grab him by the chest and waist and throw him onto the top of the guardrail, which then Perfect makes, like, right in the kidneys. Like, he's going for the kidneys.
Yeah, the kidneys that are right under your arms.
Right under your armpits, up near your chest, you know? Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of, like, choking with the strap. They get back in the ring. They brawl a bunch more. At one point, Savio runs at Austin near the ropes. Austin gives him a backdrop over the top. Mm-hmm. And then the camera angle is weird, but they make it seem like by Savio getting thrown over the top,
he took Austin with him.
Yeah, the strap, like, pulled Austin over the top. I don't think that's what happened. I think Austin dumped himself to make it look like that.
Yeah.
But when he lands, it looks like he tries to tear his ACL and MCL.
Yeah.
His knees, very much like Mero earlier, he definitely, like, his leg buckles weird.
Yeah.
But apparently perfectly fine.
Yeah, he can't wait to get those knee braces, though.
Yeah, like we said, Scott said on the show, on the pay-per-view, like, it is weird to see Austin without knee pads fully active.
Yeah,
like
without knee braces.
Without
knee
braces.
Regular-ass knee pads right now.
Just a regular guy.
Yeah. Not a cyborg.
At some point, they tease doing a tombstone.
Yeah,
and then they do the reversal through. And the end result of it is they get close to the ropes, and Austin dumps Savio over the top.
Yeah,
he then chokes him with it for a bit. Then when they get back in the ring. Oh no! Sorry. Then Savio's on the floor. Austin
goes to the top rope, is going to jump on him.
Yeah.
But then Savio yanks the strap, and Austin just goes flying top rope to guardrail on the floor,
face first into the corner of the guardrail.
Not something you'll see in a lot of later Steve Austin matches.
He's only got a little bit of time left to do those spots.
Not a lot of top to floor stuff.
Got to get him out of his system while he can.
Yeah. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may.
So they get back in the ring. Austin's obviously beat down. Savio wraps him up in the strap so that he can sort of like drag him as he goes to the corners.
Yeah.
He does 1, he does 2, he does 3. Austin sort of gets himself untangled, and then as he's going for 4, so Austin's sort of in the middle of the ring, holding
Savio's
the strap.
getting close.
Savio's going towards the far corner to touch it, and Austin just like runs backwards as fast as he can and like yanks Savio's arm out of the socket.
It was really good.
And Savio takes like a really good bump off of it, and like he seemed fine.
Yeah.
But like he like yanked his arm back like as hard as he could to dislocate his shoulder. So then Austin picks him up and puts on the $1 Million Dream.
Sort of.
He has his arms are over his shoulders, and Savio's piggybacking him.
Yeah.
But he could not have less of a actual choke on. Mm-hmm. And it's like very clear. Like you can very clearly see that he is not choking him.
Yeah.
So Savio goes and he does 1, and as he does 1, he does 1, 2, and then he can't quite get to the third one because Austin's choking him.
Yeah.
So then Austin wraps the strap around his neck, and he like essentially drags him behind him as he touches them. So he does 1, and then Savio gets that one, and then Austin gets the second one, then Savio gets the second one, and then they go for the third one, and Savio sort of misses it, and he has to like pull on Austin
back a bit so he can
get the third one, and then he, what does he do? He pulls.
They kind of just have a struggle, a tug of war.
Yeah.
And Austin like sort of pulls Savio, and like Savio like jumps over him and hits the last one.
Yeah. So Savio wins. So means Ted DiBiase is gone from the company.
Time to go finance the NWO
and be the fourth member.
And be the
forever. Never not
acknowledged.
So Austin just sort of like, all right, fuck it, you're gone, see ya. He leaves. Savio then cues up the
question about the Na Na Hey Hey Goodbye song. Was it just the standard song, or did it have a Latin beat under it?
I don't know if I noticed.
I
hope it's a Latin beat, because that's rad.
That's pretty good, right?
That's rad.
I wasn't sure.
Puerto Rican putting his own spin on the song.
I'm Puerto Rican.
I'm Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican. Yeah, and then the crowd sings the song, whatever, and then DiBiase leaves, and goodbye. We never see you again until 2010, maybe in WWE.
Somewhere in there.
I'm sure he makes sporadic shit.
Yeah.
He came back during the when Ted Jr. was a thing.
Right.
Dave Meltzer gave that match 4 stars.
Yeah.
It's very good.
And he gave Shawn and Bulldog 2.5.
It's well deserved.
Which is generous. But apparently their King of the Ring rematch is 4.25.
Oh, it's a shame we won't see it because it's not in your house.
Shame we don't get to see the good match.
So now, as is tradition at this point, we get to go to the AOL backstage or whatever because they literally change the name every show.
Yep.
Where you get Shawn Michaels, quote unquote, online.
Shawn Michaels beginning his long history of trouble with computers.
Of understanding how technology works, even though he's not actively that old in 1996.
No.
But apparently anything is too hard for him to understand.
Yeah. What's he in his What's he, 30 in 1996? Like, really? He can't grasp a laptop?
He would be 31.
There you go.
And apparently technology is too hard for this old man. So, yeah, it honestly just looks like he's high and he's staring into
That's the thing. He's not doing
as if it's nothing.
Anything on the computer.
Maybe he didn't hear action.
Or he heard it, but he's never seen a computer
He's
before.
so confused by it.
Yeah. He was baffled.
So, up next is we get Vader versus Yokozuna, which they built up last show.
Yeah.
Vader, I don't know, broke Yoko's leg or something, but didn't actually.
Some shit with his leg, yeah.
So the match starts hot and heavy. They just go right into it.
Yeah.
But then it stops being hot and heavy and just goes back to being like a normal wrestling match.
It turns into a sumo match.
Yeah, but it starts off with like Yoko trying to kick his fucking ass.
Yes.
And then it's just like he backs up to the corner, does the sumo stance.
Yeah.
And
Vader keeps backing off.
And then so he does sumo, Vader does football, like the 3-point stance.
Yeah.
And then as they're about to run at each other, Vader like constantly keeps chickening out. And he's got to like psych himself up
some early UFC shit where everyone just has a ridiculous fighting style. This one's just like football versus sumo.
Yes, yeah. Which I'm sure happened.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
It's no White Tiger Kempo karate.
No, not at all. Or kickboxing and basketball. Those are your two types. So yeah, Vader's kind of hesitant. They eventually do it, and Yoko just blasts through him.
Yeah.
The match isn't long at all. It's
good.
It's mostly
good for it not being long.
It's mostly just fucking around.
Yeah.
Eventually, Yoko gets Vader down. Cornette climbs up on the apron to blast Yoko with the tennis racket, and the most fucking boss move of anyone ever. Yoko, the most perfectly timed, put your hand out and grab the racket as it's coming towards you.
Yeah, like one hand, almost no look grab.
Barely looks at it, and just so smoothly, bop right in the hand. Cornette immediately freaks out. He drags Cornette in the ring. Cornette puts the racket down and is like, hey, listen, we're cool, man. We're friends. They go to shake hands. Yoko tries to break his hand, which Cornette does a great job of selling.
Yep.
Yoko then gives him a big headbutt, which Cornette does his awesome,
jumping,
kick his legs out bump.
Yeah, anytime Cornette gets hit, he doesn't fall down. Yeah. He jumps.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he then drags Cornette to the corner. He goes up to the second to do a bonsai. It was kind of awkward because Vader was clearly pulling Cornette out of the way, but he got there a little too fast.
Yeah, so Vader's just kind of watching for a minute.
Yeah, so he has his hand on Cornette's leg, and he's waiting for Yoko to sort of start bouncing.
Anytime,
to pull
Rodney.
him out of the way. Yeah. So he pulls him out of the way. Yoko misses the bonsai drop. Then Vader does the big splash thing that he did to Yoko's leg to break it or whatever.
Yeah.
Goes up, hits a Vader bomb, done, finish.
The first and only winning with your finisher on the show.
Correct. That's the only way you can win a match. And it's also, spoiler, it's the only one that's going to have that.
Yep.
So after the match, we got a King of the Ring promo it's actually pretty good. I actually really like it. It's like Jerry Lawler in some fantasy dream world that's this white room.
There's Elvis and a mummy.
There's an Elvis and there's a pharaoh and there's Don King.
It's a lot going on.
It's a bunch of other people who are royalty or kings. There's a dog with a crown.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you right now. As long as it doesn't leave this room.
Okay, no one will ever find out.
Don't tell anyone.
Is this a real Mount Sinai situation?
Kind of. I think it's just because I wasn't paying enough attention to it. I didn't understand the king thing.
Because it's King of...
No, I know. Now I do.
Gotcha.
Then I didn't. Then it was just a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all royalty or kings or stuff.
That's news to me.
Why didn't they do Martin Luther?
Should have done Martin Luther. Wait, 95 Theses Martin Luther? Okay.
Yeah.
Not 95 Theses Martin Luther
King. A poop Martin King. Yeah, anyway, so it's him in this dream world where like all these other kings are like judging him on whether or not he's a king,
and they're like, no, you suck.
And then they start beating him up, and
he's like, what?
And he starts freaking out. And he goes, "Where am I? What is this place?" And then you get the light. It goes black. There's fire, and then you got Vince McMahon as the devil, which was actually really rad.
In his bravest role to date.
Yeah, it's really really good.
Because I guess the gimmick with King of the Ring this year, the tagline is "To battle is honor, to win is hell." So that's why they did the hell thing.
I mean, I guess because if you win, you have to keep having more matches, and it's hell on your body.
I guess, but don't you also want to win at the end of the day?
I guess.
Don't you want to? Don't you want to call Jake Roberts names and then produce a really successful T-shirt?
Yes.
Yeah.
That tagline though definitely sounds like something that a Japanese Fed would have, like somebody that works for the company that has like knows English, but has bad English, and to them that sounds proper.
Yeah.
So then they go
some of those awesome like DDT show titles.
Yeah, or even just like mid 2000s like any of the bigger companies.
Yeah.
Or like team names in Japan that like in English make absolutely no sense, but to them sounds cool.
You better not be talking about Muscle Symphony.
No, I'm not talking about Muscle Symphony. I don't know, just like in general, like most of their team names are just like English words.
Voodoo Murders.
Yeah, or like, high end. And you're like, okay, but what are you, like, are you high end wrestlers? It's just like a weird, like that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, JR and Perfect hype up King of the Ring. They give us the rundown of all the matches that have already been announced, blah, blah, blah. So next is what ends up being the main event.
Yeah.
It's WWF Intercontinental title casket match between Goldust and The Undertaker. So again on Free For All that I thought we would get again for this, but we didn't, was the promo package of Goldust just being the creepiest gay man of not only trying to unbutton the shirt and molest Paul Bearer, but he also at some point on a show, I don't know if it was a Raw or whatever, a Superstars or something. He does a promo in the ring where he wants to feel the Undertaker's presence, and then he asks him if he knows what the term rigor mortis is.
That's fun.
And then as he's explaining what rigor mortis is, Undertaker like beats him up.
Yeah.
And then there's just a bunch of back and forth of stuff, and it kind of shows the involvement of Mankind. Because he's also feuding with The Undertaker, which we said multiple times while watching this match, it is very disappointing that Goldust and Mankind weren't like a thing.
That's an awesome team.
It's an awesome team. It's two really fun gimmicks with two really good workers.
Great workers, great talkers.
And they work well because like one is like an insane serious character and one's like a big,
cerebral
giant queer.
Yeah.
Right, so like,
and you propose the dynamic like Mankind simping for Goldust.
Yeah, it's a real Channing Tatum in This Is the End to Danny McBride. Like that's really what would be amazing about.
That's the vibe.
Like Goldust is the daddy, and Mankind is like the weird alt kid that didn't have a proper growing up. So now he looks at this older sex man as his like daddy.
Sex man.
Yeah. Anyways, so they show from Raw the night before of Ahmed Johnson getting taken out, and then as he's being taken to the ambulance to leave, Goldust runs over and stops the medical staff from taking him away and says that he needs mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and starts giving him...
legit gives it to him.
Actively,
which Ahmed could not have been psyched
I
out.
can't imagine that Big T is cool with a white man trying to kiss him.
Yeah.
So he gives him like straight up mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
Which JR then says on commentary that's not medical help. That's just sick.
Sick.
Noted homophobe Jim Ross. So yeah, Ahmed like comes to after Goldust has left, and then he gets mad and tries to run after him to murder him. He then plows through a dude standing in front of Goldust's dressing room door and just like blasts through the door. Goldust is gone. So yeah, honestly, it's not really much of a match. Like, it's a lot of Goldust trying to be a queer and Undertaker just being early Undertaker.
Gold casket. I like
there's
that.
a gold casket, yeah. There was a very silly bump that Goldust took off the old school where, like, Taker jumped off, hit him with the arm, and instead of just, like, taking the bump, he, like, jumped and kicked his legs up in front of him and then took the bump.
In a way that probably wouldn't happen if someone came down on you with a strike.
Correct. Then as he takes the old school, he bumps, and then immediately starts fighting with his zipper on the front of his gear to get it open because he's clearly hot.
Yeah.
Suhanya. Then there is a very hilarious botch of whip off the ropes.
Well, they do the thing where the guy whips Goldust and then bends down to back body drop the guy. Goldust slides under him and does like that slappy uppercut to the chin. However, and we started okay. We did the whip, we did the bend over, and we did the slide. But before Goldust could complete the transaction with the little uppercut, Taker just stands straight up.
Yeah.
And Goldust misses.
Yeah, he still does the swing, and it's not like a matter of, like, he took, like, Undertaker moved out of the way because he saw it coming.
There was a good deal of time between.
It was like he forgot the spot.
Yes.
So
he and Phineas are going to botch jail tonight.
Yes. Yeah. Then Goldust just straight up tombstones
Straight up hits the guy with his own finisher.
And like we were saying before, like at the beginning of this, is like this is when we realized how big Goldust is, because Taker is probably like 6'9" maybe, and Goldust is like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah,
like he's genuinely like a really tall dude.
Yeah, he's not a lot shorter than Taker.
He also has, as we've noted in the past, this is the worst Goldust gear.
Yeah,
it's too bright. You can see the outline of his penis. You can see the fact that he's kind of fat.
He's fat.
It's a real slap in the face.
Yeah, you need darker gold and more black on the gear. It gets better. He gets good gear.
He gets excellent gear.
This is not it.
The darker the gold and the more the black is accented into it, the better.
I hear the blacker the berry, the sweeter the fruit.
Correct.
Okay.
Also, once you go black, you keep going back.
It don't crack.
Oh, yeah. So the rest of this match is honestly just Goldust getting his ass kicked.
Correct.
He goes up top. Taker grabs his arm and pulls him, and he does like a big front flip off the top.
Yeah. Loses his glove in the process.
Taker loses his glove, which Goldust is kind enough to give back to him because he needs it for the gimmick. And then, Taker just, like, straight up picks him up, gives him a tombstone, done. Rolls him over to the casket. At some point when they were on the outside, sorry, I missed this earlier, Goldust rolls Taker into the casket, and as he's closing the door, Taker, like, gets his full arm out,
yes.
and then grabs Goldust and throws him over the casket, but as he throws him over the casket...
Completely breaking the lid off its hinges.
The lid is only supposed to go 90 degrees. Yeah. It goes a full, like...
It goes past 180.
Yeah. It goes all the way down the other side.
Yeah, it legit goes 270. Yeah.
So the lid is kind of broken.
Yeah.
So he starts rolling Goldust towards the casket. As he goes to open the casket, Mankind pops out, gives him the mandible claw.
How'd they do it?
How did he do it?
How'd they do it?
It's magic.
Okay.
Oh ho ho! It's magic.
Shout out to Pilot.
Yep. So he gives him mandible claw, drags him into the casket. Closes the door. That's the end.
Closes the lid very quickly. End.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't forget that. Don't forget that Mankind screwed the lock shut on the lid, even though the lid is no longer attached to
even
anything.
though the back of the lid is completely open and he could just push it to get out.
Yes.
But it's magic.
It is magic.
Goldust celebrates. Mankind leaves.
Yeah.
And then the casket starts to like
yes.
This smoke is spooky. And then Paul Bearer goes out to open the casket to see if Undertaker's okay. Oh, he's not there anymore.
How'd they do it?
Magic.
Okay.
Like you said, there's always been a magic wrestler.
I was going to say
there has to be magic wrestling.
Help themselves. They're always, even though everything else is on the show is presented as relatively serious.
Yeah.
There always has to be some element of complete magic.
I mean,
which kind of undercuts all of the other reality.
I mean, relatively serious considering there's a man who's a wrestling garbage man.
Yes.
And
I mean, you gotta pay the bills.
And also a mantar.
There is a mantar, but now he's just a bodyguard. Actually, now he's just nothing.
Now he's just not around.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so... The magic helps keep the allure alive that he is not in the casket dead.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think to myself, like, how many casket matches on, like, you know, because, like, house shows, maybe he's lost some. Like, who fucking knows? Probably not. But, like, how many casket matches has he actually lost? The one...
Yoko.
The one where he got his face destroyed because it was a different guy. And this one.
Yeah.
And is that it?
He probably loses some later ones, but I couldn't tell you. But
I can't think of him losing any other ones.
It's not many.
Like,
if any.
The one with Sean. Where Sean fucks up his back.
Yeah, so Sean must win that.
I guess? I don't remember.
It was for the title.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, Kane fucks around.
Kane, yeah.
Kane fucks around and finds out at WrestleMania.
Yes, he does. I mean, what is he? He's like, in Buried Alive matches, he's like 0-4 probably.
He sucks at Buried Alive matches.
Considering it's his match.
Or he loves getting buried alive.
Maybe it's his fetish.
Maybe it's a fetish thing.
Maybe it is a fetish thing. So that was In Your House 8A and 8B. Or 8 and 8 1A.
8 1A. Okay.
Stay tuned for 9, which is
International Incident, coming to you from the newly built GM Place,
General Motors
in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Did I go? Stay tuned and find out. And until next time, but only this time, the secret letter is G.
All right, goodbye, whatever. See you later.